Hello, it's Yellow, and welcome back to my channel. I hope y'all are good, cause I got an insane story time for you guys, so let's get right into it. It started like every other dead Monday at school, bro. You know the type of the day where everybody looks half asleep, the hallways smell like cafeteria pizza mixed with cheap body spray, and teachers are already pissed off before the first period even starts. Outside, it's raining just enough to make everything depressing, gray sky, wet sidewalks, people dragging themselves through the entrance like zombies. Nothing felt important, nothing felt crazy. And what's insane about the whole thing, looking back now, because by lunchtime our school hallway looked like a damn crime scene over a fucking vape. So me and my friend, who we're gonna call Jake, got to school early that morning. Jake was one of those dudes everybody knew. Not because he was like popular in the movie star quarterback kind of way, but because something weird was always happening around him. If there was drama at school, Jake somehow got pulled into it. If somebody got caught sneaking out during lunch, Jake probably knew about it. If there was a rumor spreading around the school, Jake either started it accidentally or was somehow standing nearby when it happened. And the thing about Jake was he wasn't a bad guy at all, he was actually funny as hell. Teachers hated him because he never shut up, but everybody else liked him because he made boring days like entertaining. But he did have one massive problem, his temper. Jake could go from laughing to wanting to throw hands in like 3 seconds flat. Anyway, before first period, we were sitting near the gym lockers. Jake was leaning against the wall, scrolling TikTok while blasting music quietly from his phone speaker. I remember him showing me this stupid video of some dude falling through a ceiling and laughing so hard he almost dropped his drink. And that's the thing that messes with me now. 10 minutes before everything happened, life was completely normal. So Jake had this vape in his backpack, some blue raspberry mint ice, whatever the fuck flavor. The smell was ridiculous. Every time he hit it, the air smelled like a candy store exploded. And yes, before anybody says it, obviously we knew bringing vapes to school was stupid. But literally everybody did it. Kids were vaping in the bathrooms, stairwells, behind the football bleachers, sometimes even in class if the teacher was old enough not to notice giant clouds floating around the room. So it wasn't shocking anymore. At lunch we headed toward the gym hallway because it was quieter there. Most people stayed near the cafeteria, but the gym hall had these long rows of lockers where people usually chilled during free periods. And that's where things started feeling weird. Jake got unusually quiet all of a sudden, and I remember asking him like, "Bro, you good?" And he just shrugged. Now at the time I didn't think much of it, but later I realized he'd spotted somebody walking toward us. And this dude, let's name him Tyler, or let's just call him Ty. And I didn't really know him personally, but I knew of him. He was a tall guy, he had always worn a buzz cut, always wearing black hoodies, no matter how hot it was outside, and he had this permanent pissed off look on his face like somebody ruined his entire life 5 minutes before you saw him. Apparently, him and Jake used to be friends, not best friends or anything, but they hung out around the same people. Until something happened, and nobody knew what. Some people said it was money, some people say that they argued over some girl, other people claim Jake talked shit behind his back. Typical high school rumor garbage, guys. But whatever happened between them clearly wasn't fixed. Ty walked straight up to us. No smile, no joke, no what's up. Just straight tension immediately. He goes, "Where's my vape?" Jake looked up slowly like, "What?" And Ty said, "My vape, the one you took yesterday." And the second he said that, my brain went into adrenaline slash panic mode. Because there's a specific tone dudes use that right before fights happen. And Ty had that specific tone. Jake just laughed, but it wasn't like real laughter. It was that dangerous kind of laugh people do when they're already pissed. Like, "I didn't take your shit." And he goes, "Yes, you did." And Jay goes, "No, I didn't." So then Ty stepped closer. "You were literally holding it yesterday, dude." And Jake stood up immediately. And the second Jake stood up, everybody nearby started paying attention. And that's how school fights work usually. People have some kind of supernatural ability to detect drama from miles away. Like within like 20 seconds, there were already kids slowing down in the hallway, pretending to check their phones while secretly listening. And Jake looks up at him and goes, "You calling me a thief now?" And Ty stared at him and just said, "Well, if the shoe fits." And people started saying like, "Oh shit, what did he say?" And honestly, at that point, I knew this was about to go very bad. And Jake took a step closer, and now they're basically chest to chest. The hallway got weirdly quiet too, like all the random background noise disappeared. No talking, no locker slamming, just tension. And Jake goes, "Watch your fucking mouth." Then Ty shoved him, not super hard, but enough. And look, every school fight has that one moment where everything could still stop. That shove was the moment. If Jake backed up, fight over. If Ty laughed it off, fight over. Instead, Jake swung immediately. Boom! Straight right hook to the side of Ty's face. The sound echoed through the hallway so loud people started screaming instantly like, "Fight! Fight! Fight!" And then absolute chaos exploded. Ty slammed into the lockers but grabbed Jake's hoodie and dragged him down with him. Both of them crashed into the metal lockers so hard one door flew open. People started running towards the fight instead of away from it because teenagers, I'm not gonna say like I'm a fucking grandpa, but we basically are like wild animals when violence happens, you know? Phones came out instantly. I'm not kidding, some kid literally vaulted over a backpack just to get a better recording angle. Jay got on top of Ty, throwing punches while Ty covered his face and swung back blindly, you know? Then Ty grabbed Jake's shirt and both of them rolled across the floor, crashing into backpacks and shoes. Everybody was screaming over each other like, "Oh, get him, oh my god, bro, he's bleeding." One girl near me was literally standing on a bench recording vertically like like she worked for ESPN. And then Ty landed a hard punch, like really hard. Jake's head snapped backwards and blood started coming from his nose immediately. The crowd lost their minds, and I remember my heart pounding like crazy because part of me wanted to jump in and pull Jake away, but another part of me was frozen watching this whole thing unfold like a movie scene because when it's your friend against one guy, you do not jump in, but when it's the two guys against your one friend, you jump in immediately. Adrenaline was insane. You could feel it in the hallway. Jake wiped blood off his face and just went feral after that. He tackled Ty into the lockers so hard the entire row shook. Bang! Metal doors slamming everywhere, kids screaming, teachers yelling from like far away. And at one point I heard somebody shout, "World Star!" And I swear that somehow made the whole thing feel even more insane, but funny as fuck. And then one of the teachers, we'll call him Mr. Garrison, he showed up, and this dude deserves his own introduction, honestly. Mr. Garrison was one of those teachers who acted way tougher than he actually was. Bald head, thick glasses, always yelling at kids for horseplay like he was a retired military commander or something. Everybody joked that he thought he was Batman, but naturally, the second he saw the fight, he charged straight into it. Break it up right now! Of course, nobody listened, and Jake and Ty were on the floor throwing punches like maniacs while kids circle around them, recording from every angle possible. This was going on for like 30 or 35 seconds, which is very fucking long for a school fight. And then Mr. Garrison grabbed Jake by the shoulders, trying to yank him backward, and this is where everything went from normal school fight to legendary because Ty swung again at the exact wrong moment. Whack! Full punch directly into Mr. Garrison's face. Glasses flew clean off. I swear time stopped for a second. The entire hallway made the same noise at once. Everyone was like, "Oh shit!" And Mr. Garrison stumbled backward, clutching his nose, looking completely shocked. Blood started pouring between his fingers. And then even Jake froze. Jake yelled like, "Bro, you hit a fucking teacher!" And Ty looked horrified for like half a second. And then everything somehow got worse, because now teachers were panicking. One teacher started screaming for security, and another teacher was yelling, "Everybody move back, move back!" Nobody moved back, obviously, but if anything, more kids showed up. You could literally hear people running down the hallway because word spread that fast. And then security came storming in, and school security always acts slow until there's actual violence. Suddenly, these dudes appeared out of nowhere like secret agents. Kids scattered instantly, pretending they weren't recording 30 seconds earlier. And security grabbed Jake first because he was still screaming, "I didn't fucking hit him!" And Ty was yelling too, "He stole my fucking vape!" Mr. Garrison sat against the lockers holding tissues to his face while another teacher tried helping him. The hallway looked destroyed. Backpacks everywhere, broken locker doors hanging sideways, blood drops on the floor. Phones still secretly recording from corners. One freshman looked like he was witnessing the apocalypse, and then the principal showed up. And if you've ever seen your principal walking fast, you know somebody's life is over. She came storming down the hallway looking furious. "What the hell happened here?" Nobody answered because literally 50 students were trying to disappear at the same time. And Jake looked at me while security dragged him away. His nose was bleeding, hoodie ripped, hair completely messed up, and he goes, "Bro, my mom is actually gonna fucking kill me." And honestly, that was the funniest and the saddest thing he could have said in that moment, because the craziest part was how fast the story spread afterward. By 7th period, everyone in school knew about it, but every version was completely different. Some people started saying like Jake knocked Ty unconscious. Some people claimed Ty broke Jake's ribs. One idiot said Mr. Garrison got knocked out cold and had to go to the hospital. Another dude somehow started a rumor that somebody pulled a knife, which thankfully never happened at all. And that's high school basically. One fight turns into 10 different stories by the end of the day. And the videos, oh my god. Everybody had clips. Like Snapchat stories were flooded with shaky recording and screaming audio. Kids were replaying the moment Mr. Garrison got punched over and over like it was the greatest sports highlight ever created. By the next morning, even kids from other schools heard about it. Jake got suspended for 2 weeks and Ty got expended too. Mr. Garrison came back 3 days later with a bruised nose, and everybody suddenly treated him like some war survivor. Even teachers looked awkward around him after that. But the funniest thing, nobody even knew who actually owned the vape anymore. Like seriously, the entire reason for the fight got lost in all the chaos. And honestly, that's what makes the whole thing so insane to me. Like, all this destruction, teachers bleeding, security dragging people away, half the school screaming over a stupid fucking vape. Not money, not gangs, not some massive betrayal, a fucking vape. And to this day, whenever people talk about the craziest thing that ever happened in our school, everybody remembers that hallway. Everybody remembers the sound of Mr. Garrison getting punched. And everybody remembers the exact moment that boring Monday turned into absolute chaos. Guys, there are no morals of the story. I think it's obvious that you should never ever get into any physical or verbal fights. Just walk away. And that will be all for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Touch some grass if you haven't. And as always, stay yellow.